Thank you, Representative Owens. At this time, I'd like to recognize Congressman Bergman for Michigan's 1st Congressional District. Representative Bergman was a Lieutenant General in the United States Marine Corps, so Semper Fi, sir. And he's also notably the highest-ranking combat veteran to have ever served in the House of Representatives.
Well, thank you, fellow Marine and fellow Guardsmen. Mr. Palazzo, your dedication to being one of the co-chairs of the Guard and Reserve Caucus reminds me of continued service that members of the Guard and Reserve do every day in communicating to the general public the value of what it means to have a ready Guard and Reserve, but also here in Congress, the continuing education for all of our members so that they understand in their states that the importance of maintaining a ready Guard and Reserve. You know, May is National Military Appreciation Month. So is June, so is July, so is August, so is September. I would suggest to you we should be thankful continually for the men and women who always are standing by at the ready when our country needs them, whether it's a humanitarian assistance mission, a disaster relief mission, a border security mission, a mobilized go to the fight kind of mission anywhere in the world. Our Guard and Reserve stand ready. But in that readiness comes the requirement to properly fund the Guard and Reserve. And in the military, it is always a competition for resources. But I believe the combination of states, because the governor of every state is the commander-in-chief of their Guard units. Reserve units, different story, they're under the command of the different services. But the readiness and the support that is offered by each state and its governor to ensure that their Guard units are ready to go, whether they're Army Guard, whether they're Air Guard, no matter what it is essential to not only the state readiness, but the overall readiness that we need as a country in the very complex world in which we live. But a special thanks tonight to the families of those Guardsmen and Reservists, because those Guardsmen and Reservists, they work a Monday through Friday job, let's say, and on Friday night, when a lot of their peers leave their jobs and go home to go play golf or go fishing or whatever, they're packing their kits and going to a drill weekend or a 2-week annual training or whatever it is. So the sacrifice of time that the Guardsmen and Reservists make at the expense of their family time is something, again, we should never take lightly and always remember, because it's those young children who wonder why mom and dad is not around on Saturday and Sunday, but then they see the picture of them wearing the uniform and doing the kind of duty that we need in the United States of America. We cannot thank the family enough. And having said that, in thanking the family, the commanders of the units know very well that good training time means that you're busy, you're doing good things, and if there's nothing to do, secure and go home and spend time with your families, because it's the family that keeps everybody together. And speaking of keeping things together, employers a lot of times don't understand the sacrifices that their men or women are making on the weekends. They just see them, you know, as good employees Monday through Friday. So I thank the employers. And there's a group called the Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve. They've done a great job across the country to ensure that the relations between the Guard and Reserve and the employers are such that there's no misunderstanding of why a person may ask for a day or two extra to leave for extra guard duty, to do a longer drill weekend. So my thanks to the employers as well. On a little personal note, when it comes to Michigan, in fact, today I met with the Adjutant General of the Michigan Guard, and as a state, Michigan has some very, very, very unique and productive training areas. We're a state with a lot of water around us. We got a lot of woods. And Camp Grayling, in kind of the central part of lower Michigan, really is an example of what a National Guard base, training base, could and should look like around the country. Multinational exercises every year, Exercise Northern Strike, the Alpena Combat Readiness Training Center. We are one of the few areas where the fighters have unfettered access to unrestricted training areas to do live ordnance. And we need to have our pilots and our air crews and all our shooters ready to go. And I'm proud to represent that part of Michigan that houses Camp Grayling. And of course, Selfridge Air National Guard Base down kind of closer towards Detroit. It is a base with a future because it's one of the few bases that is not a joint base where you have military and civil aviation going together. So the ability of the Air Guard, of the Air Force Reserve, of any of the reserve components that fly to put capabilities at Selfridge Airport, at Selfridge Air National Guard Base is a win-win for not only our defense posture, but, quite honestly, for the state of Michigan when it comes to providing bang for the buck in the defense dollar. I could tell you about a lot of stories over a long time, and in my command, my last command as the commanding general of the Marine Corps Reserve, whether you're a Marine, a sailor, an airman, a soldier, soon to be Space Guardians in the reserve component, Coast Guard, the men and women who serve, the missions that they are ready to do, give me confidence that our ability as the United States military to not only go to the fight, but to do the things that are the humanitarian assistance, disaster relief, we're in good hands because of the commitment of the men and women who wear the uniform. So, my friend Congressman Palazzo, thank you for leading this. Thank you for calling attention to the fact that without our Guard and Reserve, we are less ready as a country. Thank you.
Thank you, General Bergman. I appreciate it. Being over the 4th Marine Division gives you insight that many people don't understand, and being able to connect the relationships between the actual serving member, their family, and their employer is extremely important.